girl, your sister is here, ready, open, and as fabulous as possible. I am your sweet Melanie, and you are now listening to Girl What? So we always start the top of the show with our drink of the day, which I always allow my guests to introduce what it is. So, Kayasa, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. So, I am Kayasa. I am here with our drink of the evening, and simply because we have been on lockdown for the last couple of months, we're going to name our drink the lemon quarantine. Okay, so tonight we have tea with a little twist of lemon, and we're all going to drink that tonight. And I hope you guys have the same at home with us.
All right. So, it's a little new, y'all. I'm doing the live thing, visually and audio. So next on the agenda, you all need to introduce yourselves, let the public know they saw this fabulous commercial with my girls. So who's gonna start? Stephanie, you ready?
Sure. My name is Stephanie Van Bark, and I am a really cool friend of Melanie's, and am an entrepreneur. My company is Stephanie Creates.
All right. Chaos.
Okay, so like I said, I am Kayasa Cobb, and I am an instructional leader for Miami-Dade County Public Schools, and I'm here with my girl Mel, hanging out.
Ray.
I am Raven Thomas, the president of the Painted Pretzel, Melanie's line sister from Alpha Kappa Alpha, Zeta Omicron, Florida State.
And she's in Arizona, y'all. How cool
in
is
Arizona.
That?
Oh, how cool.
And last but certainly not least, Miss
Hi. Hi, y'all. I'm Melanie's girl, sorority sister. I'm also a freelance writer, blogger, and I'm happy to be here. My virtual background does not work, but it's all good. We're gonna keep the show going.
We're gonna make it do what it do.
We have lots to say and chit chat about.
We got a lot to talk about. It's been a minute.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna follow the order of what we normally do. And the next thing on the agenda is what I call Mel's Moment. And this just captures what I've been up to. I'm not gonna talk about everything because it's been a long time, but the latest and the greatest things that I've been up to. So here we go. Mel's Moment. All right. And so I jotted down a few things, and pretty much everything on my end is virtual. So many of you know, especially if you're friends or regulars of the show, you know I am what you call a serial entrepreneur.
Begun. And so it's just really a lot, to lose the greats, in our community and our people. It's going to be just a loss. It's going to be a great loss for us. Just a talent, such talented people. But they did leave a legacy behind. They left their mark, their stamp. And I think about Andre Harrell, because to me, he was young, 59. That's young. So that just took me aback, just took me back. Like, I was just devastated because he was 59 years old. He's not. So I don't know what was the cause. I'm, eager to find out. I pray that it wasn't COVID, but even anything,
I'm hearing from what I read is that he had already had some heart issues, so could have been cardiac related to he had heart surgery years ago. But they're not confirming anything. So again, we don't know until it officially comes out.
Yeah, but it's just sad day. Yeah.
All right. So the only other thing I have, and I know there's a lot more that has happened since my last taping, but I was trying to keep, current. And I think based on what we just talked about, we kind of covered a lot of stuff. The one thing I did want to mention is that since my last show, we now have Joe Biden as our Democratic presidential nominee. So he's going to be the one that is going to go up against number 45. I think we're all awaiting to see who his vice president pick will be. And he stated that it'll be a woman, but when we get into our topic of the day, at first I was advocating for that, but based on what I've seen since we've been off, I kind of have my views on who he should pick. So that will lead us right into what we want to talk about today, unless somebody has some important information that I did not cover. Anybody? No? Oh, y'all trying to be cute? Y'all trying to be cute?
No, you've done a great job.
This is not, let me get this straight right now. Y'all know this is not the typical show. We don't act like we don't even have an audience, and we're gonna talk like we normally talk.
Like I'm not just talking about is what we're about to talk about. So I think we'll chime in when
I do want to chime in. I just hope that people go out and vote and not get distracted with everything, because there's a lot of distractions purposely being put out there. And I'm sure the voter suppression tactics will start to come out, but we need to come out and vote. And I hope whoever Biden does pick, I mean, let's face it, nobody is perfect and ideal, especially me personally after Barack, but I'll take what we can get as long as we can get 45 out of office. That's all I'm saying about that. But we got to vote. We have to vote.
But look, I need to raise my hand.
Oh yeah, Steph, what you got?
But we're talking about voting, and I got to tell you, I'm a little nervous about the voting process this year. We've already known that 45 got in by very I would say legal ways, and now we're talking.
Say it, girl. Say it.
Honest. I told y'all. We're talking about the way we're going to vote in the middle of a pandemic. Will people come out if we are still going through this situation? I'm just really concerned that it will be a fair fight, I guess.
I'm very concerned too.
You talk about mail-in votes. That's a great idea if they actually get there.
Yeah, me personally, I will bring my sanitizer wipes and my mask, but I'm going to vote at the polls.
So
I'm
really concerned about that. Mm-hmm.
My concern,
I'm gonna vote in person.
My concern more so, I know that I'm going to vote, right? Mm-hmm. However, let's think about our elderly.
Yeah, absolutely.
They vote.
Absolutely.
Will they be able to come out and vote this year because of everything that's happening? So
they might do absentee, but
we gotta help them. We're gonna have to help them.
Can you get it to the counting booth?
We're gonna have to help them do the absentee because they don't know, a lot of them how to do that. So we have a responsibility now, to go ahead and make sure that our elderly are able to vote that way.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Raven, she's been waiting so patiently and pretty.
Do you guys think that, well, I have two things. The first problem that I have with voting is that we put so much emphasis on voting for the president when really you need to be voting in the off elections, because it's not the president who's making the laws. Right. And so we get caught up like the president's going to do everything. But if he's got this posse behind him to carry out his crazy wishes, that's the problem. Yeah. So you got to change them too. But my next thing is, I know some elderly people who don't vote early. Like they don't want to vote early. They prefer the whole feel of election day. So that's a part of the thing that you have to worry about, is like getting them to change their mind. Like you can go vote early and you can still celebrate your vote, but it'll get done, That's always what I feel like we have to just tell people. What if something happens on election day and you can't get there? It's okay to vote early, it's fine. But I find with the few people that I know that they have a problem with voting early, they want to wait till election day, and which I understand. But then I'm also like, please, because I really want your vote to count. You know, I really want you to make it, you know, but a lot of elderly people that I know don't want to vote early for that reason.
Right. It's a different year though with the COVID and the research, you know, that's the thing that I'm thinking about because of the COVID. Like, will they be able to
Yes.
get to the polls? That's
Right.
Aisha, you had your hand raised.
No, I said what I wanted to say. I think that just isn't, it's important that we encourage everybody to vote. And you're right, Raven. The midterm elections are even more important for our local commissioners, mayors, our governor, our congressmen, our judges. That's one thing in the past, I guess, 6 years that I've been paying more attention to. Making sure that I go out and vote and find out, researching like my local officials and what their political agendas are. That's really important. So you made a great point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and people want like criminal justice reform, but then they don't see, is your sheriff being elected this year? Like, do you know who that person, the people are running? You want these things, but you have to start so much closer to your local level than depending on whoever is the 46th president, you know? And so I think like it's just education that people don't really know that is bigger than just, I mean, because the president of the United States is the most powerful person, but he needs all the other people. Well, normally they need all the other people. He's got his own plan, but you know, that's all.
And one thing I want to add is with all of this police brutality that's been going on among our people, it's even more important to vote for your district attorney, your sheriffs. It is super important because we need to get a lot of these people out of office.
Yes.
Who try to cover up things, who try to hide things, who are secretly being supported by white supremacist groups. It's bad. And I think that's even more important. I know in Broward County it's pretty heated for the upcoming with a lot of mud being slain. So we have to really pay attention to that.
Yes.
I do agree. I do agree that the local votes are very important. I'm very much an active voter, but this particular administration has been such a bully, and they've really, I think, emboldened several local level elected officials to do some things they might not have had the courage to do before.
Yes.
And might not have been in the position to be able to do before. If I think about the Georgia race, that was a very unfair race, the gubernatorial race, I mean. It was very unfair. It was suspected that there was some voting fraud going on that we could never prove, but this administration has emboldened that kind of behavior around the country. And that's what really terrifies me, is that not only are we trying to get to dictatorship with him, there around the country we have local officials who are making unfortunate decisions just based on trying to be a part of his group.
Team, his voice.
Exactly. So yes, I agree. We should vote from top to bottom.
Kayasa?
Well, I kind of concur what everyone else was saying. My only thing is who's going to get, the thing that I think about is education. Like, to be honest with you, I have to be very honest. When I go to vote, I vote. You know, I'm an avid voter. But when I go there, I really don't, when it comes to like the judges and the local officials, do I really do my homework? Or am I just getting a list from somebody that says, okay, vote for this judge, vote for this person, vote for that person? That's what people normally, you know, do. And so as a community, we need to become better educated. We need to dig deep. We need to research. We need to, you know, help each other understand, okay, this judge is not good because of this, that, or this reason. And I don't think we do that enough, you know, as a community. And it can be voting can be very just cumbersome, and just understanding all of the laws and the rules. And sometimes you need like a law degree just to understand what is being said, you know, on those ballots. So my thing is, how do we do that for our community? Where do we start?
I got one. Y'all know,
Okay.
girl, what? That's how we get down. That's what
Yeah,
we do.
that's true.
When it gets
We get
closer,
more.
you already know I bring my girls in. The last time we literally had like a ballot party, and we broke down what every single item was on the ballot and explained them. So I will do it again. But you're right, we have to be informed. All right, so I'm gonna move on because we could stay on this topic all day long. One thing though that was mentioned, I did not mention the young man that lost his life 2 months ago.
Oh God.
I didn't mention that. Ahmad. And so yesterday we kind of all campaigned by running 2.23 miles for him in hopes for justice, in hopes that justice will be served. And it kind of ties into Joe Biden because I think he is really like honing in on that situation being handled the way it should be handled. So we're gonna move away from that, but I just want to pause for like a minute for a moment of silence for all the lives that we've lost since we started this pandemic quarantine. So we're gonna pause for a minute. All right, so we're gonna lighten up the load, and I gotta charge up my computer. This has been heavy so far, y'all know. I don't mind the heavy, but we gotta lighten it up a little bit.
We do, but
I think what I'm gonna do is
say,
so here's the thing. Okay, so I came up with this idea for this show, and it's called The Truth About RONA. And I chose the name RONA on purpose because we've been watching and hearing people talk about COVID-19 and all the facts and all. Okay, so by now, everybody knows the facts. Everybody knows what COVID is. Everybody knows what it's doing. And we know that some states are not on lockdown. I think on Monday, Miami-Dade starts to open up or whatever. But pretty much, for the most part, in the Black community especially, we've decided, forget what they're saying, we stand in the house. Right. All right. So I'm gonna lighten it up.
I know Miami Black people.
So those that
I'm gonna lighten it up a little
that
bit because
sure.
I wanted this show to be about how has this pandemic affected us personally, spiritually, financially, all of the above, health-wise. And I was talking to Aisha, and what she wanted to talk about was. Y'all ready for this?
What?
How it's affecting her dating life.
Yes. Corona is a blocker.
She's the single one on the chat right now. So go ahead, Aisha, take it away. How's it affecting your dating life?
Well, it's affecting my life in general. So let's just get that straight. But as a single person who is divorced, I think I'm the only single one on the panel, right? Wow. Okay. You have to think about all these things. Like, what do you do if you do meet someone? Like, you can't really go on a date. You can't, go to a restaurant, go to a movie. That was usually like the typical things you do when you meet someone, you're getting to know them. Even when you are, meeting them for the first time, sometimes you would usually go to a coffee shop, right? Because I do online dating. That's really how I meet people. After I did my background check, I got tips, but no, because you never know, right? So, but men don't approach women just out of the blue anymore, like at a grocery store, at a park, or a concert. Like, that doesn't happen as often. It does happen, but you don't meet a lot of people organically anymore. So, online dating is the way to go. And during this Corona pandemic, it does go down in the DM. I'm gonna be honest. Like, a lot of people are in the message box. But you gotta filter. You gotta filter it because you don't know, is this for real? Like men are in their feelings and women are too.
Yeah.
But what's going on is that, everybody's trying to get booed up. So that they don't have to worry about the Rona out there. But I'm not trying to just rush and get booed up because I'm really, really cautious. So I just put it on pause for a minute. Like I'll chat with someone or talk to someone and see if we, might vibe, but where do you go from there? Are you gonna meet out at Walmart and y'all do your shopping together, social distancing?
Hey.
Like seriously, I was talking to my girlfriends about that. And we were like, well, what if you really do like a person and you just want to meet them? Like you're gonna do FaceTime, of course. And what got me thinking about it, I was talking to some girlfriends. I don't know if you ladies saw that. Well, you probably haven't seen it because you're married, but there was a Bumble commercial that went viral between Common and Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, I saw it.
Because they're dating. Yeah. So they did a virtual date on Bumble. And we were like, is this for real?
I saw it.
Because one, you're both celebrities. So why do you need Bumble to hook you up? Like, come on now, that's ridiculous. So, but it was cute. Like they ordered food. He ordered food for her. They watched the movie together virtually. And we were all in Tiffany Haddish's Instagram because she posted it. And I followed her and we were like, Tiffany, this is not for real. And watch out for Common because he's a serial dater and he never commits to anybody.
I can't.
No, I really did post those comments. And one of my friends who was a guy called me a hater. But I'm like, I'm just looking after my girl. Because first of all, we were like, this is just a publicity stunt or a ad. And Tiffany Haddish went on Instagram and said, no, it's for real. And then one of my girlfriends, shout out to Sally, was like, no, it's a publicity stunt because they're quarantined together right now. So regardless, we were talking about what do you do? Do you do a virtual date? Like that's an idea, but it's also a really good opportunity to meet someone and get to know them as a person. Because you're taking, what they look like, because you got to like do some FaceTime and figure out, are you really who you are? Is that your recent video or, picture? So please do FaceTime, ladies, to make sure you know who you're talking to and that they look like they look. And that's not the photo from 20 years ago, and get a full length shot too. Like I got all the tips. Yeah. I once, and this was like 4 years ago or 5 years, I went on a date to meet a guy who was really nice, talking on the phone, saw his picture, but his picture had shades. So I didn't, or a side profile. When I finally met him, dude was cockeyed. So I was like, yo, note to self, get a picture, front, facial, and full length, and no shades. Because you don't know if they cockeyed. Also see if they smile so you know if they have teeth or not. So
Raven, what was your question?
That's very important. So here's my
Raven.
Oh, Raven, okay, go ahead.
I got something to say.
Your hand was up. Okay, go Steph.
So here's my question. I actually have a friend who's single also. And what's really freaking her out is the idea that you might go out with someone that, the health aspect of it. Do you take your thermometer? Is there a test you can take in 14 days? Does that ever come up and this is for you, Aisha, does those conversations come up when you're chatting with the person that you want to date?
Yeah, it has people that I've talked to, like they have parents, elderly parents, so they're being really cautious. And I'm basically waiting until those self kits come out. No, seriously. Wow. So we could just do a quick self kit because you could have corona and get it again, just like you get the flu again. And I've been talking, trust me, I'm talking to my doctor who is a family friend of mine. And you just gotta be careful because they don't know yet if you had it and you have antibodies, does that build up a defense? So real talk, everything's on pause right now. Like, y'all know me, I joke around a lot, but the cookie shop is closed right now. It's just closed.
And I was just gonna say, y'all know I keep it all the way 100. I read an article a couple of days ago and they said they discovering now that they are finding corona in the in semen.
Yeah, I read that.
Oh,
I read
my.
that
Yeah,
article.
so
Yeah.
Really?
They
Yeah.
found it.
I
There
have
was
not read that. That's
guys.
that's
I'm gonna
gross.
send you that article.
They tested 6 guys and they found it in 4. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And I think 2 of them had already had corona and something, and then 2 was current with something like that. But yes, I read that article. But what I wanted to say, Isha, is did you watch on Netflix the show Love is Blind?
Yes, I made her
Yes,
watch
because
it.
Melanie made me watch it, and then I was
Listen,
glad
that
I
show-
watched it.
I love that show. Cameron and Lauren, I love them. Cam and Lauren, and they met like in this whole, and I don't know how truthful it is or whatever, but it appeared to be very
No, they're
real.
still together. They've been
They're
married
still
for like
together. They got
over
married.
almost 2 years. Yeah.
And I just think about the fact that the emotional connection, the mental connection, the spiritual connection you can make with someone when, you know, sex is not involved. So I think this
No,
is a great.
absolutely. So like I joke around a lot, but honestly, like at my age and the point of life that I'm in, I'm looking for a soulful, spiritual, mental connection with chemistry. So I'm not out here playing games, and that's what you look for. You look for the people that are serious, and the ones that play games, I'm quick to block. Like I'll block you in a heartbeat. But I have, you know, I have responsibilities. I'm a mom, you know, that's why I do my background checks. You just have to be careful in this day and age. And we have to, you know, it's almost like it's even worse than the HIV/AIDS epidemic, because now you could cough or touch someone and you don't know what the heck you're gonna get.
True.
And I'm not trying to die for anyone. And another thing that I've done is start taking my health a lot seriously. Now I have no excuse because I have the time to do it since I'm working from home and I'm not commuting. It's important. Like I've been eating more organically, working out more. It's also been helping me with my stress and anxiety levels, because when you just don't know what the future of your life is holding is going to be like, and you can't go anywhere. And let's face it, all of us were out and about and doing things in the community, socially, and volunteering. You know, so we don't have that aspect really anymore. So you're stuck in a house, and it can be very stressful, and then you don't know what's going on. And then I kept hearing a lot about a lot of friends, since I am from up north, friends of friends passing away, their relatives passing away. The man that did my father's funeral years ago passed away. So it's, you know, it starts hitting close to home. And you just know that, okay, let me do what I know I was supposed to do all along. You know, I've always been taking my vitamins, but now I'm gonna take my elderberry, my sea moss. I'm gonna make my fruit smoothies.
Your skin is good, girl, by the way.
Thank you, honey. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a shout out to Liz Garcia, Clear Botanical Solutions. I've been using her facial products. They're plant-based, and she's local here. And she's done a lot of, she's serviced a lot of celebrities also. So her products are the bomb, and they're not harmful. But honestly, you know, just taking care of my health better. And then I started thinking, you know, like, what if something does happen to me? So do I have a will and living trust? I did a little review of my life insurance policy for me and my son. Like I just started making a list. And thinking, how am I going to handle my life anyway in general as you become a certain age, but really during this COVID, because I tend to analyze and think a lot, I started thinking, you know, I got to really like take stock of my life and my finances, health, everything. So it's for me, it's given me a lot of time and introspection. And my prayer life has definitely improved. I started doing some meditations because I haven't been disciplined in meditations, but that's helped my anxiety a lot.
So Aisha is like covering like a whole bunch of things that I jotted down. But real quick, married ladies,
yes,
how's COVID? How's RONA?
Oh Lord,
treating you?
how much time do you have?
Stay married, because ain't nothing out here. Stay married.
Married ladies. What y'all got to say?
Raven, y'all can start. I'll finish at the end when y'all finish.
Okay.
No, I read an article that talked about how there may be a lot of divorces after the pandemic because people are really around each other a lot. For me, it hasn't been bad. I have to say it hasn't been bad. And I have to say I'm grateful I married my friend. So because I married my friend, we get along very well. We, you have our moments where we get on each other's nerves, but it has not been a horrible situation as long as we kind of take care of each other and try to, I guess, nurture the relationship while we're sort of in a room together. But we have similar interests, so it hasn't been bad at all. So I'm grateful.
Raven?
Yes. Well, my husband and I both are introverts anyway, so this is fine for us. We're good. We wouldn't be going out anyways. But also, I've been married for 20 years, so we know exactly what's going to make the other one irritated. So we just don't do it, So there's that. But it's been fine. Like the RONA, I mean, if it wasn't what it is, I'm good with being at home. I'm good, and so is he. So it's just like nothing's really changed other than that we have to work at home every day. But that's okay.
Okay.
For me, it's been interesting because we're in a new chapter in our lives, and Jamie and I will be married 19 years this year in September. But we have my mom with us. So I've actually gotten to really appreciate my husband because of his support with my mom. Even though he plays around, he's a big kid, and it's like having another kid in my house with my 17-year-old. He's still out working. He's actually an essential employee. He drives, the Metro bus. And so he's out there. So it's been kind of scary with that because there's a routine when he comes home to, go in a special room, take your clothes out, take a bath, whatever. But he's just been amazing with my mom and just helping me care for her during this time. So it has me looking at him in a different way and being grateful that I'm with him, because everybody don't stick around for that, and everybody don't support you in that way. So I am super grateful. I'm doing great right now. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, on this end, it's like a business house. So we kind of we take time to watch a movie here and there, but Jay's grinding, I'm grinding. Like, we're taking advantage of this opportunity to sow, to not just we had already sown the seeds, but really stay focused and push our empire. So that's what's happening on this end. Like today, we took some time and my family did like a virtual barbecue. So it was literally like my mom's sister, y'all know my mom is deceased. Yeah. So it was my mom's sisters, my little cousins. We were all on live. So we kind of try to, the same way we were before this, balance our lives to where we have some personal time and some business time. But I'm like Raven and I had a conversation. I'm, what you call it, Stephanie? Because you told me the name of it. I'm kind of like introvert, extrovert.
That's me.
Oh, ambivert.
Ambivert, yes.
Yeah,
but I'm so okay with being at home.
Me too.
That's what I mean.
Like, y'all don't even understand. I'm like in my comfort zone. I'm so at peace, and to work from home, it works for my life.
Netflix and chill, boo. And
okay, which
Mel,
I was gonna get into that.
Mel,
okay, so during this time,
hold on,
right?
Mel, you got to tell them the story though about you were posting why does my husband want to go out so much?
Yeah, so that
he wanted to get her car fixed, and she didn't want him to go out if it wasn't absolutely necessary because she's not really driving. And I was like,
that was like
no man, go get your car fixed. I had to go to Tire Kingdom by myself a few weeks before that.
That was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? So I'm still with my nerves, like, dude, I don't need nothing coming up in this house. Like, what are you doing? I'm not even driving my car right now. Like, why is that so important right now? But now I'm at the point where it's like, you know what? I'm just going to pray. I'm going to pray for you.
What about the haircuts? Because, girl, I stopped my husband from going to get a haircut.
Jay pretty much cuts his own hair.
Oh, I was like, no, you can't go get no haircut. I'm sorry.
I'm just worried about
Jay, we are like night and day sometimes, and he's an extrovert. And so I'm at the point now, I guess, where I'm settling in. So it's like, I'm just gonna let you do you. And I'm gonna pray. Yeah. And when you come in the house, you just gotta take your clothes off, wash your hands, like it's my nerves. And I'm like, I can't. If you want to get the coffees, go ahead and get the coffees. But at first it was real nerve-wracking because it's like, man, do you not see what's happening? People are dying. And you want to go get my car fixed? Yes. But I let that go. It is what it is. I'm just gonna pray for him, put the, with the blood of Jesus, and you're a grown man. I can't control him.
Right.
So, all right. So next, I'm gonna jump to, y'all mentioned the Netflix and chill. Okay, so it's a lot of entertainment happening now, right?
Yes.
We got club quarantine.
Yeah.
I know I discovered at the very beginning of this process, my cousin hit me to the fact that I've been missing out on all these TV apps that have all these great movies.
Yes.
Like, where have I been?
Busy.
Working.
Me too.
So what y'all been watching?
You have to go to work.
We're at every B movie in the world today.
All right, so what's like, okay, so tell me your top two, each of you, tell me your top two movies or things that you've done over this period that you would recommend to somebody.
Oh God, that's hard. I gotta remember.
Okay, so I'll start, and then maybe that Little Fires Everywhere is the bomb.
Really?
That is on Hulu.
I heard, yeah.
It is apparently it's based off of a book, but you talking about a good show.
Oh.
It's about it has Kerry Washington in it.
Okay.
And I don't want to tell too much about it, but y'all need to watch it.
Okay.
It's good. Hulu you need to get Hulu app. I don't even have cable anymore.
Me neither. I have ATT TV, a streaming service.
Yeah, I don't mess with the cable thing anymore. And then I discovered the Roku box. You just get a $30 Roku box, and then your TV, the old TVs that's not smart TVs, you connect it to that, and then you got all the channels. Access to all the channels.
You don't need it.
What about you, Isha?
I started getting tired of Netflix, but I have been watching the Michael Jordan series with The Last Dance. That series is about the Bulls franchise in the height of Michael Jordan's career. It starts from the beginning of his career to the last championship that they won. They won 6 championships. And what they allowed is that last year they allowed unlimited access to a film crew to see behind the scenes, and they never did anything with that footage until now. So it's on ESPN, and it's called The Last Dance. And that was like our era, like growing up, we were, no matter what your team was, because I was a Knicks fan at the time, the Bulls were the winning champions, like hands down. But the thing is that I like good documentaries, and it's such a good documentary because it goes into the life of everyone. So you see like the crazy life of Dennis Rodman, you see the life of Michael Jordan, you see the life of Scottie Pippen, you see the life of even a coach, Phil, and it gives you that background story. And I'm always about the background story and what makes them those. So that series is amazing. It comes on every Sunday, and I've been. And that's
ESPN. Is that the ESPN app, or is that?
No, just regular ESPN on TV.
Oh
yeah, and they have it on demand. It comes on Sundays. Like when this is over, I pre-record it. When our podcast is over, I'm going to watch this episode. They got 2 more episodes left, but I think it's a 6-part series, I believe, and it is really, really good. Like super good.
Check that out. Anybody else?
I want to mention 3. Can I mention 3?
Go ahead, Stephanie. What you got?
I would say first I saw the documentary called Waco, where it was about the Waco situation. It was actually a movie called Waco.
Waco, Texas.
Yeah, by the Waco, Texas.
It's on Netflix?
Yes.
Okay.
It was really good. I have to say, it was very entertaining. Uncorked, which is a Black film.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Now it was really, really good. It's a very, very good movie. And funny because I don't recognize any of the actors, but they were actually excellent. And last, and I gotta apologize. I have to be a little messy. Tiger King.
Oh,
I got caught up in the Tiger King, and yes, the movie is coming out.
Okay, first of all, Tiger King was the bomb.
It was.
I didn't see it.
I love that crazy crap. It just got my mind off of everything, and I was in awe because these people were bona fide crazy. I don't care what anybody says. Carol Baskin killed her husband. Hasn't been proven, but she killed that man.
Amen.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey, what you been watching?
The memes were hilarious.
I told you I watched all the B movies, so y'all get your life on that. Okay, that was really good.
The B movie. What's that?
You know, our community movies, those Black movies that never make it to like big mainstream.
Give me some names. I like those kind of movies.
You do? Oh, girl, I'm gonna tell you the one I watched. I got a bunch of them. I'm looking at my stuff now. Let me see. I watched. Come on, where it is?
I watched those too, but what you won't get me watching, you will not get me watching Tyler Perry's The Oval. I can't watch that.
Oh, I don't like that.
Oh, I thought it was. Is it still on?
Okay, I watched a show. Let me tell you one show I really like called All American. I don't know if you saw that. That's based on.
Yeah, that's good.
I love All American. I'm waiting on the new season to come out. That's not a B movie, but it's based on a true story about.
Oh, that's with Tay Diggs. My son loves that.
Yeah,
series.
that was that. My daughter and I watched it. My mom, we all watched that. I tried to watch Dear White People and Black AF, but I couldn't get into it.
I don't like that.
There was a B movie called Step Sisters. There's one that's called the one Bridesmaids was very good. There's once you start watching one, they'll put all of them like on your feed, so you'll be able to see them. So yeah, that's what I've been watching pretty much, and of course my Ratchet TV. You know
I just said my Ratchet TV.
Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah. Raven, what you got?
Well, normally I'm not a TV watcher. Unless it's sports, the news. So I didn't know if I was going to make it through this watching the TV. But I do like How to Get Away with Murder. So I've caught up on that. I don't know if y'all ever watched that, but I love that. So I finally caught up with that. All American, Breaking Bad, started that. A show called Ozark. I just started. Yeah. That seems good. That's really it. I fall asleep in everything. So it takes me, one show. I might get through one show in a night. I'm not like a binge watcher. I will fall asleep in like 5 minutes. But
Baby, you've always been like that.
Always. This is not new. So my first date with my husband, I fell asleep in the movie.
Oh my.
Day one.
He had to like it.
This is 24 years later. 24 years later, and he still can't watch anything with me because I fall asleep. So
yeah,
it's funny.
She good for falling asleep, y'all, for real.
Yeah, it's real. I have kids, so I watch movies with them, and I'll fall asleep, but I do watch those. So.
Oh goodness. Okay, so 2 other ones, y'all, that y'all have to watch. The Godfather of Harlem.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
Good.
Which can I just say, Mel, The Godfather of Harlem is good. But it is so fictional, and they do say that. I just think that people will think it's real. The characters are real, but that's not how it all went down.
Two of the characters are not real. Well, the part
Buffy, Malcolm X, and Adam Clayton Powell are real figures.
The interracial couple is not real. That's like
they're real. Yeah, but they dramatized a lot of stuff.
It's good though. It is good. It's very good. And then the other one I was going to tell you is based off of a true story, For Life.
For Life.
That one is good. That's about the inmate who becomes a lawyer in jail.
Oh, the one produced by 50 Cent. I can't get into that. He's a British actor too.
That show is very good. So
does he get himself out?
Huh?
Does he represent himself?
Yes, he represents himself too.
Okay.
Yep, it's really good.
I think it comes on ABC after Blackish, which I still watch. I still watch Blackish and Mixish. I usually watch that with my son.
Which I want to ask you about that. Sorry, Aisha. I'm sorry, Aisha. I saw.
You thought we were in chat to me today.
I know, exactly. I saw on Facebook you were talking about the other show that is a spin-off.
Oh, Black AF?
Right. Tell me the scoop. Tell me the scoop.
Okay, so it is created by the creator of Blackish and Mixish, Kenya Barris, who is a genius. But this series on Netflix was more like Blackish R-rated, and it's loosely based on his life. He plays himself as a real obnoxious Hollywood writer, producer who's living this extravagant lifestyle with spoiled kids. And it's kind of the setting of like Curb Your Enthusiasm, but you know, that's not really Black, to be honest. Like in terms of like the kids being disrespectful and calling their dad a dick and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I can't.
Yeah, I tried to watch it. I can't.
I couldn't get with it. It just didn't, and it wasn't as funny as I thought it would be. Like Blackish is way more funny. And he's using the same formula. The only episode, I watched the whole series to give it a chance, but episode 5 about Black Hollywood was the best because he had Tyler Perry, Ava DuVernay, Will Packard, Layla, I can't remember her name, the writer who created Queen and Slim, I can't remember her name, but she's also created some other shows like 20s on BET. She's a big
is she the Orange is New Black person?
No, she's the one who is I can't remember her name, but she's a writer, comedian, and she's a big advocate of the LGBT community.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So they were talking about Black Hollywood and how they don't have each other's back, and it was funny and it was hilarious, but it had a lot of truth to it, and Tyler Perry kind of broke it down. So that episode is worth watching. It's episode 5, and that really doesn't have much to do with the storyline, but it talks about how they need to support each other and, you know, kind of get the credentials on within their community, our community, and not worry about, you know, the Oscars and being so accepted by mainstream media. We need to serve our own community. So that was a good episode, and it was very funny. It also had Issa Rae from Insecure in that, and she was making fun of Kenya Barris. So it was really good. And Kenya Barris he let people take digs at him, so it was really funny. And shout out to all those. I mean, those are all heavy hitters, you know, in Hollywood, Black Hollywood. Speaking of Insecure, that's my show. I watched that, but I'm highly disappointed with this season because it seems like they're running out of gas. It just doesn't seem as funny. It's not hitting as much.
That's what happened with Scandal.
Yeah, it's running out of gas. So this might be their last season.
All right. So real quick. This is a high note of this quarantine situation. Y'all know I'm a music lover. Y'all know, you know, my husband's into music. And so between club quarantine, last night with Jill Scott and Ibadu, Teddy Riley versus Babyface. Need I say more? DJs everywhere, virtual DJs everywhere. Like, I don't know. I haven't clubbed this much.
I know.
Since college.
I know.
I mean, I'm in the club every night.
Isn't it great though that even in this time of a pandemic and everything going on, like we find ways to enhance the culture and entertain ourselves and get innovative. Like we are so innovative. Shout out to D Nice. D-Nice has done it.
Club quarantine after dark, like
and doing great things like voter registration. Like D-Nice is doing it up,
raising money for HBCU.
Female DJs, like everything. And when you're in that club, you see everybody in the club, girl.
Yeah, everybody's in the club. I saw Michelle Obama in the club. I saw Joe Biden in the club. Oprah Winfrey, Usher. I'm like, wow, they all in it.
I'm like, I'm in here with Michelle
Quincy Jones.
Yeah, Mary J. Blige. All these people in the club.
Oh, the
But
people.
the Erykah Badu and Jill Scott versus gave me life yesterday.
Oh, that
I
was so
loved
good.
it.
Yes.
They did it for the culture, and they were just two queens, just
Oh my gosh.
dancing and complimenting each other. And there was no win or
No.
loser. They
No.
were just, we were the winners as spectators.
That's
And
right.
they did a beautiful job. I love the storytelling behind how they
Yeah.
produced or did certain songs. And I mean, we're talking about over 20 years of catalogs. They could have gone on for hours. And
Hours.
it was beautiful.
Shout out to Femia Forward, because that was a series. I mean, that was
Yeah.
the organization that puts on these different battles.
Mhm.
But last night, like, I felt like we
the
needed
best.
that. Like,
Yeah.
to see Black women, you could feel the genuine love and respect for one another. Like, when Erykah Badu's, I call it E-Badu, when E-Badu's screen froze,
Yes.
and then she was right at the tip of, like, she was playing Tyrone and it went off.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Jill Scott was like, "Oh no, wait, hold on, let me play this. Let me play Tyrone."
Did it for her.
That
Yeah.
did it for me. I was like,
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
that's what I'm talking about.
Shout out to Timberland and Swizz Beatz, because they came up with this battle concept and then they formed verses, and the battles have been epic. The Teddy Riley Babyface battle was epic.
One and two.
Epic. Yeah, the one was a flop, but that was funny as heck because he wanted to do a concert
For
and
the
it's on
culture. For the
Instagram.
culture.
Culture.
Yeah, and Babyface was like, "I'm just here to play my hits." And then when they did it again, it was beautiful. And everybody's winning because these are older artists, so their social media game is not really up to par, but they're getting there, and they got so many more followers. Like, when this quarantine is over, they can go on tours. They're popular even more so now with the Gen X and younger generation. So it's been amazing, that part. And even I gotta shout out our local DJs have been doing it. DJ Tillery James, DJ Fly Guy. A lot of people have been doing things. It's been really, really good. DJ Selfborn.
Yeah.
And we have to remember, like, especially here in Miami, these people, we so rely on hospitality so much. Like, the clubs are closed. They're not getting an income. Like, they're not, and they're spinning to keep themselves sane, busy. Some of them are asking for tips. And when I've danced and partied by myself at Club Quarantine of One, I definitely send a little cash app, because I know that, you know, they're struggling, and I'm still blessed to be employed. So we got to just look out for our own, because it's a lot of people struggling.
Steph, you had something to say, Raven?
Babyface is doing another one for he's like going to be from Waiting to Exhale he's going to talk about the songs, I guess, like stories behind the songs.
Yeah, he was supposed to do it today. He postponed it. No, he postponed it because he's still mourning the passing of Andre Harrell.
Right.
So he put on an Instagram post that he was gonna postpone the Waiting to Exhale live concert on IG, but he hasn't announced the new date yet. That's gonna be
be crazy. That soundtrack is ridiculous. So I can't wait.
God, that's one of the best soundtracks out there.
Yeah.
Steph, you had something to say?
I don't know. I think I've just been excited about how the arts and the creative juices we always rely on music, entertainment. We were just talking about Netflix, movies, to get us out of our I guess it could be very depressive being stuck in your house for hours on end and only able to go to the grocery store. But we've been able to look to the arts to really get us out of our funk. And I'm just always excited about that.
Shout out to the hubby. We had red light special happening. And so that's opened up some doors. And it was kind of fun, like, for people to tune in and hear him sing. Yeah, he still got it. He still got a voice. But it was fun. You know, it was something that we look forward to every week. And then we have TikTok. Yeah. Everybody's doing TikTok challenges. Raven hit me up. Melanie, I need you to jump on this video for Set It Off. I'm still waiting for that one. Everybody's being so creative and, you know, bonding. And I had virtual birthday party, which was lit. Like,
yes.
But that's the thing I think about us as a Black community.
Yeah.
Like,
Can I say one thing, Mel? First of all, your virtual party was like the most fun I've had since quarantine. That was so hot. And your husband Jay has a really awesome voice. He has that hit song that I think is a hit for Miami. That needs to be like on the tourism board or something. Like that song is about Miami, represents Miami, and I like the decor you've been doing for the red light special sets.
Yes.
So keep it up. We're so creative, and thank God for the arts, because that has kept me sane. And y'all know me, I like a good party, but I have been really quarantined, party of one in the house. And you just still have to have fun and keep it light. And the music has been amazing.
I just hope that people remember, like, when this is all over. I mean, I know things will be different. We got to kind of handle ourselves different after this. But I just hope people that remember what was it that got us through, you know, from the virtual churches. Like, I'm so, like, grateful that, you know, I already had the connection with a home church, but my church, Christ the Rock Community Church, I'm gonna give them a shout out, because it's like they were ready from the virtual Sunday worship to the everyday, like they do like a midday 10-minute lesson, Bible lesson. Like, I look forward to that. Like, the fact that you're able to visit other churches, the fact that my women's Bible study, we have like, oh, sorry about that, I was pressing a button. We have like women from China, Honduras, and all these different places on our Bible study. Like, it's out of control.
I can chime in on that for my church, One Miami Church. We've been having our virtual concerts. We have our church service. We've on Fridays, my little family group, we've been doing virtual Bible trivias. We've just been having a great time. I've enjoyed seeing other churches, like you say, other sermons. We can actually just turn on Facebook like on a Sunday or on any day and just see, you know, messages about God, which is amazing, because I don't, you know, I think on Sundays, like they normally say that Sundays is the most separated or
segregated.
Segregated day, you know, in the world, because everybody kind of goes to their own churches and it's all you know, divided by races. But with this situation, you have the crossover. So you know, it's just been great. I just really
I've been able personally, for me, to kind of hop at different like spiritual events. So it's, for me, it's given me a chance to see like what other places are about, what other churches are about. And like on a Sunday, people have so many Facebook watch parties for their church or their place of worship. So I'll hop on and see what that's about, and then hop on another one. So I've been following the Universal Truth Center's sermons a lot, their live YouTube sessions, and the Faith Center primarily, but I've hopped on a lot of others too, and even outside of South Florida, like Agape International, based in California, led by Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith. So it's been really interesting to even do that, and to a lot of people, because of these times, and you know, it's so uncertain, a lot of people have turned to spiritual practices and have gone to places of worship even more so, I think, during these times, virtually.
Yes,
it's true. All right, so I'm gonna pose this question, and I think this is gonna kind of touch on pretty much a lot of what we've been talking about. I just want each of you to answer this question before we close it out. Okay, what is the most valuable lesson you will take from COVID-19 or RONA? Steph, you want to go first?
Sure. I think for me, and I think Mel, you and I have talked about this, we can get caught up in our lives on a chaotic pace that is really just unreasonable for human life. And I think one of the things, it's made me value life, but it's also made me really ponder what's important. As I believe Aisha said, taking better care of myself, or at least trying to, and that every moment does not have to be about work, but maybe about some quality time with family and friends and connecting, even if it's online, and really focus when it's time to work and focus when it's time to really just woosah and connect in a special way. So I think that's something that I hope I can continue when we get beyond this.
Okay.
For me, I think the one word that comes to mind for me is being grateful. I've been able to appreciate the little things more. I even kind of consider what it is that I want to purchase now. Like I look at things like, do I really need this, or should I buy that? When I didn't do that before. Before, you just go out and you buy stuff and you do things that you really shouldn't be doing just because you wanted to. Now I'm more careful because there's so many people that's lost their lives, so many people that's lost jobs. Just thinking about that, it just makes me think more about just being grateful for my life, being grateful for my family, my friends, for every moment in my life, to consider my what it is that I'm about to do, to be very careful and what it is that I'm doing, to make sure that I plan before I do, and not just go wild, and especially when it comes to the area of materialism and things like that, just be more careful. That's so grateful for me. That's what I've been thinking.
Raven?
I agree with that. I agree with that a lot. To be grateful, and also that time doesn't wait for anyone. For me, I've built a business over the last 12 years, and doing so, I've worked, days, weeks where I would work every day, like 15, 16 hours a day, literally. And then to have a moment to realize that what I was building wasn't, it's important, but what am I missing while I'm building that? Like I have to choose where I'm spending my time because it's not waiting for me. I started my business when my youngest son was a newborn and he's 12. He's about to be 13. And it's like, I've been doing all this work, but he's also been growing. Did I miss anything? And just even having this moment of having my kids with me all of the time.
Yeah.
I don't even want to use the word lightly, but I do feel like I cherish it. Like I'm good because, you can't get your time back. And maybe we put too much emphasis in something that wasn't worthy of our time. So it's just reminding me to balance myself in a better way. And so I am grateful for that. And I'm grateful for that lesson. Because maybe I wouldn't have seen it quite so clearly had I still had to keep going and going and going and going. And now I'm just like, everything stopped and I could see. So that's what I've gotten.
Ish? For me, I echo a lot of the same sentiments you ladies have spoken about. For me, connection and gratitude and balance. So I've had to really think about all those things because this quarantine made me realize I wasn't as balanced as I should be. I still am working on it. Like we're all works in progress. And I come to realize that God is still in control.
Yes.
I can't control everything and how my whole outcome is going to be. I've been thinking a lot about, well, what's the next chapter of my life? And how can I be more intentional, more on purpose? It's crazy how this year is because I started 2020 going to that, the Oprah Change Your Life series at the BB&T Center. And I was like, yeah, 2020 is going to be in and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And got my workbook and 2020 has taken us for a ride, but it's also made us open up our eyes because like from every challenge, you learn from it. From every failure, you learn from it. So it's made me take stock of what's important and also to appreciate all the things I took for granted. I used to complain about driving to work with the traffic. Still don't like the traffic, but I cherish the people that I work with. I used to complain about being able to see people, or, oh, I don't want to go to this or that. And I would love to see people again, like in person, or dance again. So I appreciate the friendships that I do have, or the friendships with you ladies, and the activities we've done online just to keep connected, and being around more purposeful people and surrounding myself with people where I can learn from and enjoy, because life is so short. You don't want to be around miserable people. And I've enjoyed just learning too. Like Stephanie does a great web series on small business owners. So I've been watching your web series and supporting each other. Yeah, so it's been, for me, it's given me time in nature. Those times where I log off and I hop on that bike and I post it on social media. If I don't get my bike ride in, I don't feel complete. You know, like it just takes me away from all the stuff. I even stopped watching the news for a while because it was just too much. It was too much, and it was causing my anxiety levels to rise. So I just needed to take a breath. And like, I noticed things I didn't notice before, like the birds in my backyard, the turtle that I saw on the way to my bike ride. You know, like nature has made me, I feel connected again. You know what I mean? So the balance has really helped.
Yeah. Okay, so let me just say from my perspective, I don't know if you guys saw the video that I posted, and I recorded the video actually on New Year's Day of this year. And I don't know, I kind of was ready. And I think it's because when I lost my mom, when I had surgery 2 years ago, and what they thought was almost impossible to do, it was done. My perspective on life kind of changed. And I started pausing a while ago. I started slowing down. Like you all, well, Raven's never been here, but you all have been here. So like there was a time when I was running around, like even with my businesses, with the tutoring and this and that, I would go from house to house, and you know, I was always late at night, and I'd get home to 10 o'clock, can't cook. I was experiencing that years ago. And so I had gotten to the point where I kind of just slowed everything down. I was like, if my clients can't come to me, then I just can't, I can't see them, because life was passing me by way too fast. So Raven has known me now for over 20 something years. You three have like recently met me, maybe in the last 2-3 years. But you can attest, like how I've become is that I am very intentional about spending time with, especially people that I connect with and our hearts are the same. And I've always, for the last 3-4 years, I take that time to get to know people, to invite people over, to like, I paid attention to the birds and the trees and this and that. Like, so for me, this time I felt like, God, I know you prepared me for this. And I kind of felt like I had an assignment to be a vessel for my friends, for my family, to connect, to you know, send everybody as soon as I saw something about club quarantine. And I'm not saying that to say that, you know, that I'm perfect. I'm learning that the things that I thought weren't possible are possible when it comes to being able to, you know, do my business, but at the same time, not have to sell my soul in order to make money, meaning mention God. And like for such a time as this, I feel like right now, it's time for everything that my husband and I have worked towards, for it to jumpstart because of this time right now. And you know, our business is about empowering passion, purpose, and people. Like that's what our business has been. But up until this point, I think people honestly didn't really understand it, or it was kind of like, what is she talking about? Like it was so far-fetched from what mainstream was, to where now it's like where we are in society, it's time for it. It's time for this movement. And so what I have valued more than anything is to be able to reconnect. Like the first time in forever, my line sisters, for our anniversary, we had a Zoom chat. Like it's taken us, I don't know how long, Raven, to get everybody or the majority of everybody in one room at the same time. So it was like, you know, and then connecting with my family, and then you all showing up for my birthday. It was just kind of like God finally showing me that I know you've been through a lot, but I'm about to show you all your hard work, all your pain, all your this and that. Like I'm showing you the fruits of your labor at this time. So I'm so grateful, just like you, for my friend, like the friends that I chose up until this point. I see now, these are like my sisters, my family. Like the love is real. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to my husband and I, like this, we probably are getting along so much better now than we were before, because we get each other. We're on a mission. We're focused. So like that 2020 vision, just because of Corona, I don't think that we need to let go of that mantra. It's still 2020 vision. Matter of fact, it's even more so than when we were in the hustle and the bustle. So I don't know. I think I said it to everybody. I think I'm enjoying this a little bit too much. I love being home. I love cooking. Now I'm ordering air fryer. I was talking to somebody, we're joking. I got air fryer. We about ordering all this stuff for cooking and home life. Like, I don't know. I don't like
that. Girl, we were talking about air fryers. That air fryer is my best.
Try the air fried fried fish. Awesome.
So I'm just like, you know, to me, this has opened up another way of life to connect with people outside of just local. My line sister, for God's sake, from Arizona is on my show. Like, it's amazing of what situations like this can do to bring our community together. And I just hope the momentum continues once we get out of this mode. Like, that's my prayer.
That's important.
I agree.
I think that's important. I don't think I'm enjoying it as much as you, Mel, but I'm definitely listening to you to take it as an example. I feel like the worst has yet to come, and we just have to be prayerful and be prepared, but yet, you know, keep our sense of humor. I try to find something to laugh at every day, just to keep sane and enjoy life, because it's not all bad. But I do realize we have the highest unemployment rate that there is right now, and people, you know, are struggling. And that, when I think about those things, I'm like, I just don't want this to last, because like I'm on the board of an organization called Girl Power. When we meet, it supports adolescent girls at Promise adolescent girls in like urban neighborhoods. So we're talking about what the girls need, and a lot of the girls needed simple things like sanitary products and toiletries and more Wi-Fi connection, or laptops because they only share one, or their Wi-Fi connection is bad, or they're at home and their parents are either single parents or parents that are struggling, parents that are unemployed. And you think about, you know, for a lot of people, it is so not ideal to be at home 24/7. And those kids needed those school lunches and breakfasts and outlets and after school programs. So we all went virtual for that organization, and had to make sure that every child had a proper Wi-Fi connection. And if they needed family services or any products or food, they got it. When I volunteered at the distribution center for Feeding South Florida, it was an eye opener to see people stood in line from 4 a.m. knowing that they would not get food till 9 a.m. because that's when it started. And for you to be in line from 4 a.m. or 6 a.m., you need food. Like and we gave out food that would only give a family of 4 enough food for 2-3 days. And that's why there have been so many of those food distributions so frequently. So I really do want this time to end for those of us who really don't have those comforts and don't have, and knowing that being at home is not ideal. Being at home for a battered woman or a woman in domestic issues, and they're worried about quarantine and their kids, they don't want to go to homeless to shelters or shelters for domestically abused women. They're stuck. So my prayers are out to those people. And we have to, that's why I said gratitude. We have to stay in a state of gratitude, because we don't really have it bad. We don't. But there are so many others that are in some really bad situations. So my prayers go out to them.
Yeah, it's really bad. I totally agree with you, Isha. Just looking at the lines of people, and it's people you wouldn't even suspect. It's like working class people. They've lost their jobs. And I was reading an article that was saying that there's a lot of women that's losing their jobs because of the types of jobs that's being lost. And so, most of the homes, especially in our community, are headed by women. They're in the homes with those children. And so I am grateful for the schools being open 2 and 3 times a week and giving those breakfasts and lunches that they're doing on a daily basis. It's great, because I know Miami-Dade County Public Schools, they're distributing lunch and breakfast. And
laptops. Every child in Dade County is supposed to have a laptop.
Yeah, they'll get a laptop as well. But when you have multiple children in the home, you need more than one laptop. And hopefully,
but you'd be surprised of parents who did not go and pick up those laptops.
It's not too late for transportation. It's not too late.
It's not too late.
They're going to have summer school is going to be virtual. And, there are talks about school coming back a little earlier as well, with certain groups of kids, not, everybody, because there's so many kids within the school system. But, it's just my heart aches. And that's why I said earlier that I'm just grateful for still being able to work, and my husband is working, and, still being able to live. It's really sad when you look at the situation. So I concur with you. I'm ready for things to get back to normal, but it's up to the Almighty God. And that's why I pray, and hopefully we can pray and fast and, try to make things, hopefully He can hear our prayers, because it's really a desperate time, just really bad.
I feel a little like these are the times where that grassroots movement of really supporting one another, supporting our neighbor, showing favor to our neighbor really shines. And I hope, my prayer is that we will recognize that needs to continue. That, we need to take care of our brothers and sisters, whoever they are, because if we don't take care of them, we can't, it's ultimately going to hurt all of society. So I think this is a great time when people really step forward and do all that they can do for others, but let's keep that going and make sure our brothers and sisters are always living a good quality of life. And that's what I pray will continue as well.
There's someone on Instagram. I don't know if you guys follow him. His name is Fred T. Joseph, and his organization has given out $330,000 to random people. So this is how it goes. People will put like their little stories on his page, on his post, and they'll put their Cash App or their PayPal. And he's randomly giving them $200, and people need much more than $200, but it's just to kind of help. And there's so many people that are in need. It's just crazy. It's so many people that even with that amount of money that they've given, they can't give it to everyone. So, but it's heartening to see that there are just people who are trying to help other people. Even like just myself there, I was just reading through it. And so he'll say, if you have the means to help someone, just, pick someone, read their story. I've done that. I encourage other people to do it, just because you don't have to know someone to feel their need or their pain. But if you can help someone, even if it's $25, that might be a lot for you, but they might have nothing. So I just feel, I'm just encouraged to see that just strangers are willing to help other people, because you never know how. One person I picked, she just was like, messaging me back. She's a single mom. And I mean, it wasn't even that much, but it was a lot to her at that moment. And there's nothing more that you don't feel, there's nothing can make you feel better than helping someone and never knowing that person or having to get anything in return, but just knowing that you help somebody. So I just encourage people any way you can, if it's just to make somebody dinner that you know need it. It doesn't have to be, you know, going out and giving a bunch of money, or it just something small. It'll make you feel better, you know, and it'll make them better, and it'll make the world better, even if it's in the smallest, tiniest form, you know. So that's what I encourage.
What I'm gonna do after this show is over, because I'm in front of 4 beautiful, smart, God-fearing women, and I would love for the 5 of us to put our heads together and do something as a unit to impact somebody. So and then on my next show, well, I'm not even gonna say that, because honestly, when I give, I don't really like to let people know that I'm giving. So I think God is moving me to say that the 5 of us can put our heads together and do something for somebody. So after this show is over, I would love for us to think that through about what we can do. Like Raven mentioned, you know, any little thing helps. And I don't want to publicize it, to be honest. I just want us to do it collectively. And I encourage, you know, other circles of friends or family to think about something that they can do to help. Because I too am grateful that, you know, I'm not in that situation. I am, you know, teaching these kids, and I'm so thankful for the parents and how they're really, really trying to make sure that their kids continue to learning. But you guys are right. Like, people are struggling right now. And that's the one part. That part and people dying is the part that lays heavy on my heart. So I'm sure we're all doing something individually, but I think if we collectively do something, that'll just be one more thing that we can, you know, help, since all of us are, you know, not in that situation. So I'm going to go ahead and start to close the show, but I did want to, like I always do at the end, I give you all the opportunity to kind of showcase what it is you want the public to know, and tell them where they can find you. And so, Aisha.
Okay, so thank you, Mel, for including me on this. Even though my virtual background wasn't working, this was an awesome podcast. I look forward to watching it back. And, you know, you ladies rock, and I'm happy to just be a part. You know, we're gonna survive this like we survived everything else, and there will be casualties, but we have to be prayerful and just keep your head up and be grateful. And I'm on IG at Aisha Goddess, and also on Facebook. Please message me if you're interested in the podcast. I want to know something, because I don't accept everybody as friends, but I'm definitely open if you're a friend of Mel's and you support the podcast. And one of the things I told myself that I was going to do during this quarantine was to be more creative, because I had been putting that off to the side with my busy life. So to write and blog more, and I'm actually compiling my old writings with the help of some of my former colleagues. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Raven.
Okay, so I'm on Instagram. That's so Raven. I'm on Facebook, but I do not go on there. I was on Shark Tank, and I have probably like 1,000 requests, so I just ended it. I'm just like, I forget it. So don't find me there. Find me on Instagram. I don't have anything to promote other than just find somebody else to help in the smallest way, the biggest way, whatever you can do. There's always somebody. So that's what I'm promoting. Just help somebody tomorrow.
Okay.
So I am Chaos Cobb, just Chaos Cobb. on IG, on Facebook. I'm not promoting anything. However, I do want to say we didn't talk much about the situation with Ahmad, but I feel like, you know, these are desperate times when it comes to our boys. I have a son that's 23. So that really stabbed my heart. And I don't know what it's going to take for change to happen when it comes to the brutality that's happening in the United States with Black people, I'm going to say, because it's no longer just our Black men. I've seen it in the recent days where the disparate treatment of Black people when it comes to police and their just the way that they treat Black people as opposed to, you know, white people when it comes to this whole social distancing, just with everything. You know, it's like we're not free in the United States in 2020, you know, and things have changed, yes, but it's still a problem. It's an issue. So I just really want us not to, you know, lose sight of what happened. Let's continue to stay on top of this situation. Let's continue to reach out to the politicians or whoever it is that we need to make sure that, you know, these guys are taken down, that they are convicted for what they did. Because it's not enough just to be arrested. We need a conviction. So I am really just upset about it. I tried not to look at it too much. My daughter, she was crying the other day. I'm constantly talking to my son.
Me too.
My son is so different. Like, he's not different, but I'm going to tell you guys, he went to hunt hogs today with his friends. He's just a different type of kid. He's an amazing kid, very well-rounded, but I worry because he goes to places that he shouldn't be sometimes, you know, with his friends. And he's a good boy. I don't know. I would be devastated if something happened to my son. So I just want us not to lose sight of that. So that's my push. Yeah. So.
Steph. Well, I just want to kind of piggyback on what Kiasa was saying. The NAACP has just announced a new hashtag We Done Dying. So
write that down.
We really need to, when I saw that, I thought that was perfect because that now means we're going to get in the fight and get in the game. And that doesn't have to mean retaliation, but it can mean just making sure we're very educated, we're very aware, we're electing the right people into those positions, and that we're making a difference in our communities. Just want to say that really quickly. As I mentioned, my company is Stephanie Creates. And Aisha mentioned earlier, I just started a show called Talking Business. I had our lovely Melanie on the show on April 28th. It's been a wonderful show. It comes on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. It's a Facebook web series where we talk to business owners about how they're staying alive, about their pivot plan, their emergency plan. What are you doing to stay alive in good times and bad times? And the pandemic is a good backdrop for that conversation. And so we hope you'll tune in. You can go to Going Overtown, which is one of the websites that we have set up to communicate to communities in and out of historic Overtown in Miami. But we hope you will tune in on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, either 10 a.m. or 4 p.m. or just check us out. I'll definitely post it on my page as well, Facebook, Stephanie Van Bark, or Going Overtown.
It's a good series, and you can catch it even if you don't catch it live. You can catch the past episodes.
Thank you.
Let me just say this, y'all. Like, I'm so blessed. I love y'all so much.
Love you too, Mel. You always organize these great events.
So much, like, y'all don't understand. Like, my friends are the bomb diggity. Like, y'all some boss chicks. You know, it's not it's not just about, you know, the financial, you know, a boss chick to me is like a queen that is a mother, is a wife, is a business owner, or just works, or just, you know, a God-fearing woman, or just stands for something, you know, that's humbled. And I have so many women around me that's their aura. Like, what you all see right now, this is my life. These are the women that I talk to. Raven and I, we've talked more now than we have like in several years, but we always touch in here and there on social media or whatever. And I think it's important for Black women and Black men, have a good network, a circle of friends. Like, and what I love most about my friends is that they're authentically genuine people. And we could talk about pretty much any and everything.
Yep.
And so I just want to say thank y'all for coming on the show, being what you always are. And the public just sees it. And this is a fun show as usual. And you all know y'all are always welcome to the cave. I know this is a little different than normal, but we made it work. And so I'm grateful for that. And so I'm Mel Shin, everybody, Melanie. And I have this show called Girl What, and it's pretty much just, you know, girls talking. You get a lot of good nuggets out of it though, because I always bring brilliant minds on this show. So you can follow my show on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Girl, that's spelled with a U though, is GURL what, Girl What with Melanie. Once we finish this taping, it rolls up to iHeartRadio. I'm sorry, my plan was for you to see it visually on YouTube, but we found out it takes 24 hours for that to be activated. So we went live on Facebook instead. So the next show, we should be good to go, but it is live on Facebook. You can find me everywhere. If you want to know more about my businesses, follow at Team Shin Enterprises. You'll find everything you need to know about my husband's businesses, my businesses, and hey, Team Shin is a backdrop for us trying to empower and inspire other people to live on purpose. Everybody has a gift. We all have gifts and talents. And right now, this is the time to really put some time and energy into those gifts and make it work for you. So I always end my show with the same scripture, and it's Colossians 1:16, and it says, "For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him." So even in the midst of this pandemic, it's all the will of God. And so on that note, ladies, episode 58 is complete. And I'm going to play outro music. And thank you all, everybody, for listening and joining in. It was a long show, but I hope you got something out of it.
Thank y'all. Post your comments.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm trying to make sure we done live.
It still says live.
Yeah, it says live.
It still says live. We trying to say bye, y'all. I don't know what's happening right now.
In the meeting, it'll stop.
That's funny.
All right, ladies. Love y'all.
Love you too. Bye.
They hit y'all up though, for real. We got to come up with something together.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay.
All right, be
Take care,
safe.
y'all.
See you in the virtual world.
Bye-bye.
Mwah.